Hello, and welcome to a special Election 2020 edition of Inch from Insanity. Boy, has that title never been more accurate before, has it? I know I'm not going to sway anyone or anything of that nature, but I just, like so many videos like this, I just feel the need to vent and give my opinion. I think I'll start off with, are you people freaking kidding me that he might win? Or any of the Republican Senate. Listen, I'm not a Democrat. I call myself an independent just because I have voted for Republican candidates when I genuinely believed they were the right person for the job. But the fact of so many people, the fact that he might still win, oh my God. How? I've gotten so many arguments with relatives over Trump, and I'm sorry, but at this point, you had some leeway 4 years ago. You didn't know what he was about. He was an unknown. It's possible you didn't know what he'd be like as a candidate. We know now what he'd be like after watching those debates, after watching 4 years of all the lies. And the way people still defend him. If you vote for him now, you're either ignorant, you're apathetic, or you're evil, or you just don't care. Because I would get arguments. I say to people, what has he done? And I've yet to have one Trump supporter give me an accurate answer. Well, he created jobs. No. He improved the economy. He did not. I mean, he didn't do anything good. But let me really start, like, something I should get out of the way. I don't want Biden to be president. I did not want him to win the primary. I wanted Warren, uh, Bernie, of course. Bernie is who I really wanted to have win, and even Kamala I would have taken. I didn't want Biden, but Biden is the choice. The thing is, the right is trying to paint Biden as this radical liberal. He's not. Really, when you think about it, Biden is a moderate conservative. He's essentially Republican. But because of the last 20 or so years, the Republicans have shoved everything so far to the right that people that would be in the middle or moderate got shoved over. Because there are people in the Democratic Party today, in my opinion, that are just there because that is the party that's not batshit crazy. Is the Democratic Party perfect? No. Not. The way I view it is this. The Democrat and Republican Party are two children. The Republican Party is I say that the Democratic Party is the student that gets, like, the child that gets A's, mostly B's and C's, but occasionally this child is trying. They never really excelled, but you're thinking, okay, they're going to do all right for themselves. They're not a pro athlete, they're not a scholar, but they're not a bad person, and they do try, which is better than not. The Republican kid is the juvenile delinquent, thinks they're proving a point by not showing up to class, swearing at the teacher, failing every test, but because they got, let's say, connections, they're still going to get ahead in life, And, like, these are kids who go out of their way they get arrested, you know what I mean? I still would pick option one over option two. Is option one perfect? No. And the way people are like, oh yeah, like me, who wanted someone else to be the candidate. This is the way they're just saying, oh, I don't. Well, Biden did this and that. It was asked of me, what would Biden have to do for me to not choose him over Trump? And I thought about this, and really, the stuff he would have to do to surpass. I'm thinking he would have to be an actual pedophile, and he said some weird stuff, but he is not a pedophile. He's not a rapist. Trump is both those things. He has never he's done creepy things, but he's not a sexual predator. It's sad that we have to make that distinction. He's done some creepy things, and that's another thing we could discuss. Because I know I'm not a woman. I have been assaulted, but I don't know what it's like to be a woman in this world. I do admit that. But Biden would have to go on TV and go, I'm gonna nuke Uruguay, stuff like that. Or he would have to be proven to stolen millions of dollars illegally. That's what he would have to do to me for me to go, okay, maybe he would be a worse president than Trump. I mean, and it's sad, like, people keep saying, like, the weird stuff Biden did, and this is a point I've made before. It's sad that we have to make the distinction, but just because it's bad that a distinction has to be made doesn't mean we don't make the distinction. It's like if you're at a party and some guy came up to you and creepily touched your shoulder and hit on you a bit, you'd be like, okay, get off, and he goes away. never talks to you again. You'd be like, okay, stay away from that creep. But would be the end of it. You go to the same party, some guy tries to straight up rape you. You'd call the cops on him or maybe even try to kill him in defending yourself. Like if you saw the first guy at a party again, you might stay away from him, but you're not going to call the cops. The second guy, you would call the cops. There is a distinction there. Biden is not as bad as Trump. And again, it's sad that we have to say that, yes, but throwing a temper tantrum because we have to say that is not the solution. It's like if you had two doors in front of you. You have to escape. And the person says, okay, you go through that door, and there's an expert marksman. They can shoot you right there every single time. Instant guaranteed death if you go through that door. If you go through that door, there's someone armed with, actually, I was going to say knife. Let's just say a blunted stick with zero combat experience. This person doesn't know how to fight, and they have like a very, very rudimentary club, essentially. And like like if they poked you, it might not even hurt that much. And then they say, but option 3 is you stay and you get killed instantly. There are people out there going, well, I want the other option. No, there is no other option. Okay, I'll stay. No, you die if you stay here. But I don't want to go through either door. You have to. People are acting like they don't have to. And let's address the big elephant in the room. Our votes counting. Yes, with the Electoral College, we're not really voting them out. Some states tried to put this thing forward that electoral voters have to go through with the popular vote of the state. It's not going to get ratified in time. But again, progress happens. I think if we win this election, or at least win enough of the right elections, the Electoral College's days are numbered. Or at the very least, term limits. Term limits would change so much, especially in the Democratic Party. That's the problem. We have all these people who they're just out of touch. I'm sorry. Not to say that you can't still contribute. Some people are still, but that's a good way to put it. Like I said, I would have voted for Bernie, and he's pretty close in age to Biden. So why is it okay? Why do I think? Because he's not out of touch. There are people out there in their 80s who can master new technology like it's nothing, and there are people in their 20s who couldn't operate an iPhone to save their life. Some people can adapt, some can't, regardless of age. I used to work at a car wash, and let me tell you something. There was this guy, he just sticks in my mind. He had to have been 80s minimum, even older. He shook, like he had tremors. And yet, this guy could move his car in, no problem, every time, never had an issue. Yet I had people in their 20s, couldn't even get into the opening of the car wash, didn't know how to put their car in neutral. I almost got hit a couple of times. So age isn't always the factor, but we have to acknowledge that the way to look at it is this: it's like if you've been in a bad abusive relationship and you just want to date someone okay for a while. That's what Biden is. Biden is the okay date after the abusive relationship, someone you have a connection with, but it's not going to be the person you end up in. He is our rebound, and that's fine. Again, and it's sad that again, and this ties back to term limits in my opinion, the Republican establishment was never going to let a reformer win the presidency. It's sad, but true. Someday, hopefully. And Hillary had a lot of bad baggage, sadly, again. And so, unfortunately, our best bet is another old white man. I'm white, and I think that's crap. I do acknowledge that. But again, just because the situation is crap, and you don't like it, the answer is not to pretend it doesn't exist. I mean, I genuinely think 4 more years of Trump will lead to a new American Civil War, and it'll be different. It won't be like the old one. I don't know what it will be like, but I think areas, I mean, I think like New England's going to become a horseshoe because New Hampshire and Maine will side with Trump, and well, I don't know where Connecticut would go, but Vermont, Massachusetts, and probably Rhode Island. So it's actually not a horseshoe. I'm not even sure what the shape would be, but states blocking governors will become territories again. Trump is not who we need to be afraid of, in my opinion. No. The person that comes after Trump is who we need to be afraid of or be hopeful for. Because if Biden wins, the person after him. Because the person that can take advantage of the situation Trump has and the Republican Party has created, imagine Trump with a brain. That is a scary thought. Someone with his level of evil. And someone even asked me, but again, if Biden wins, the person after him could be someone good. Someone even asked me, why do you hate Trump so much? And I'm like, because he's evil. And the fact that other people don't get mad, it's like he has put kids in cages, and let's address that little thing. He didn't build the cages. So it is the person, so apparently the person who builds the gun isn't responsible, the person who builds the cage is responsible. Yeah, I don't know the exact true story of everything, but I do know Obama wasn't perfect, but he never separated families and lost their parents. Did he deport some people? Sure. But the way, the way people are talking about this, it just baffles me. I mean, I voted this week. I did early voting, and I got to worry because I got bad handwriting. Is my vote going to count? Are they going to say, oh, well, his signature doesn't exactly match his driver's license, so it doesn't count? But our votes do matter, especially in the other elections. And think of it. If Trump wins, but we win the Senate and keep the House, he's out. We could impeach him. Even with, with the election, with the nomination or confirmation, I should say, of Amy Barrett. Oh, God, that does worry me. I gotta say, I got friends saying they're gonna move out of the country, and I might want to go with them if Trump wins. It's like people with COVID too. It's like people can't process a threat if it's not tangible. The biggest threat to our security is cyber. And people don't well, we got to keep paying for the military. Now, again, I'm not saying the Democrats are perfect. They're not. I got hopeful about the new generation, the people got elected during the blue wave. But again, we have to keep fighting. The evil will never go away. It will rise and go down in power, but evil will never go away. When Obama got elected, again, he wasn't perfect, but Obama got elected, all the racers were like, oh no, we're fighting this. That's why Trump got elected, because Trump is in power because of anti-abortion, and people don't like the brown people or anyone that's different from the weird 50s, image of whatever. I mean, he is a genuine threat. It just gets me so mad. The lies. I mean, I used to think the way growing up, I thought the way it worked was you had liberals, Democrats, conservatives, and Republicans, and the liberal people wanted the progress at all costs. They wanted to just go forward, and conservatives cared about America, but they wanted the old-fashioned ways to work no matter what. So, and there was a balance of those two, which allowed America to work. But it's changed because the right has just the stuff they say, the direction they've gone. It scares me. Really, I am actually afraid. And could people stop sharing the made-up, fake stuff they see online? Facebook and YouTube are not sources of news. This right here, obviously, look at this. I have no budget. This is my phone I'm recording on. I'm in my bedroom. And this could still be fake. Do you realize in this day and age how easy it is to fake video? Someone once showed me a video of Obama. See, look, he's admitting it. And I took one look at the video and go, his lips aren't moving when he talks. You're like, oh, you can't fake that. You can easily. I'm not the best editor, and I bet if I really tried, I could make a half-decent fake video that would last about 5 seconds in believability. And 5 seconds is a lot in this day and age, especially with a 24-hour news cycle, and that's another thing we need to get rid of, but that's another story. I mean, I know I'm not swaying anyone with this video. I know no one's going to look at this and go, oh, I was going to vote for Trump, and then that very attractive chubby guy on YouTube said I shouldn't. So I'm not going to do that. I know that. I know it, but I just want my voice to be heard. I want to be noted that I'm scared. I am genuinely afraid of what will happen if Trump wins the re-election because I see the hatred, the just the it's evil. This is a evil is coming. I mean, really thinking we've elected Captain Planet. Remember Captain Planet? Like the villains were like exaggerations of polluters to drive the point home. That's what this is. We've got Hawkish Greedley as the president of the United States. Oh man, I just want to keep ranting because I feel like I'm in an episode of the Twilight Zone. I'm just shouting and no one is listening. Because people are trying to fight. That is the one good thing about this. People are still fighting. And I want to thank you to all the first responders, essential workers, people who are volunteering to still work at the polls. That is a hero. That is a patriot. Not some idiot that conspires to kidnap a governor. It's not some idiot who goes to a poll place with a gun to ensure security. No. No. We got to keep fighting. If Trump wins, this experiment that is America could end. And I'm worried some people aren't going to realize that till it's too late. I grew up watching cartoons, reading comic books, superheroes. These heroes taught me to always fight for what's right, even when it's hard. I grew up with a sense of honor because of them. I know this. People think it's kid stuff. I don't care. I still get butterflies when I see good triumph over evil, and that's why I will watch even the stuff I watched as a kid. I'll watch it over and over because it gives me hope that some other people are inspired by that. People are still fighting. And what the fight's going to become, well, we'll know in just a few days. That feels like a good point to leave off on. But I'm scared. I genuinely am. But I'm not going to stop fighting. Even if the opportunity comes to run. No. I'm going to keep fighting. Someday I want to be a voice. I'm hoping that I'll have a real TV show so stuff like this will actually get heard. But I'll try to fight any way I can, even though I really don't have a way to fight right now. But hopefully others will keep fighting too. So on that note, if I'm not taken by black helicopters and put in a hood and taken to a CIA black site, there'll be new content soon. Hey, maybe they'll make me film from Guantanamo. There's so many topics I could have gone over, but everything that can be said has been said. So, believe everything, trust nothing.